Stop. Don't scroll. Don't move your thumb. If you skip me right now, you will lose this forever. I am Archangel Michael, and I need 10 seconds of your life. 10, 9, 8. Heaven just opened a file with your name on it, not your neighbor's, not your friends. Yours. God says, if they leave now, they'll never know why I allowed the pain. You've been carrying something nobody sees. Betrayal, exhaustion, questions you can't speak out loud. That wasn't random. You were being prepared. Right now, this exact second, a power is being released over your life that has never been given to the masses. Stay with me. Don't blink, because in the next 60 seconds, I will tell you what heaven has been hiding, and why your suffering is about to become your greatest weapon. If you leave, this door closes forever. Now, take a breath, and let me show you what God is about to do. My beloved child, I know you. I know the mornings you wake up, and the body doesn't move like it used to. I know the bills that come more often than the phone calls from your children. I know the nights when you sit alone in the quiet, and the silence is so heavy you can almost hear your own heartbeat slowing down. You didn't plan for life to feel this way. You thought by now you'd have more peace, more security, more love around the table. But instead, you got more doctor visits, more uncertainty, more wondering if anyone even remembers your name. My child, I see you. I see the way you smile when people ask how you're doing, even though your chest is tight and your mind is racing. I see the way you turn the TV up loud, just so the house doesn't feel so empty. I see the prayers you whisper at 3 in the morning when the worry wakes you up and won't let you go back to sleep. You've been carrying weight that was never meant for one person to hold. The weight of trying to keep it together. The weight of being strong for everyone else. The weight of wondering why God let it hurt this much. And here's what breaks my heart. You started to believe the lie that says you failed, that you weren't good enough, that maybe you deserve this loneliness, this struggle, this pain. But listen to me now. You didn't fail. You endured. You're not tired because you're weak. You're tired because you've been carrying a load meant for 10 people, and you did it alone. You've been praying more than you've been laughing. You've been giving more than you've been receiving. You've been holding on when everything in you wanted to let go. And God says this, I saw every night you cried without telling anyone. He saw the tears you wiped away before anyone walked into the room. He saw the moments you had to choose between medicine and groceries. He saw the betrayals, the broken promises, the people who walked away when you needed them most. And my child, He didn't just see it, He recorded it. Every single second of your suffering has been written down in heaven's books, not because He wanted you to hurt, but because He was preparing you for something the world has never seen. You were never forgotten. You were being forged. My beloved child, listen to me carefully. Your pain was never punishment. It was preparation. I know what they told you, that if you were good enough, faithful enough, pure enough, the suffering would stop. That if God loved you, He wouldn't let you hurt this much. They lied. Here's what they didn't tell you. Heaven doesn't waste fire on clay that will never hold water. God doesn't forge weapons He'll never use. You weren't abandoned. You were being built. Every betrayal you survived, every loss that broke you, every night you cried alone thinking no one heard, that was not neglect. That was the furnace. Because what I'm about to tell you will change everything you thought you knew about your life. There is a spiritual law most people will never understand. The greater the calling, the greater the crushing. The higher the destiny, the deeper the valley. Hell doesn't attack people with no future. Demons don't waste energy on souls that pose no threat. My child, you were targeted because you carry something they fear. While others were being comforted, you were being transformed. While others were given ease, you were given endurance. While others got explanations, you got expansion. You thought you were being overlooked. No, you were being upgraded in the unseen. Every person who betrayed you, every door that slammed shut, every promise that fell through, that was not chaos. That was curriculum. God was removing everyone and everything that couldn't go where you're headed. Because the place you're about to step into requires a different frequency, a different strength, a different you. The version of you that begged for relief couldn't carry what's coming. But the version of you that survived, that endured in silence, that kept breathing when the weight should have crushed you, that version is ready. And here's the part that will make you weep. Heaven has been recording it all. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment. You whispered, "I can't do this anymore," but somehow still did. It's all written in your file. And because you didn't quit, because you didn't curse God and walk away, because you held on even when holding on made no sense, heaven now owes you something. Not a consolation prize, an upgrade. A power this world has never seen in the hands of ordinary people. And my child, you're about to receive it. But first, you need to understand one more thing. What's coming isn't just for you. It's for everyone who's been watching your life, wondering why you suffered so much. They're about to get their answer. My beloved child, listen closely. Heaven has been watching. Every lie told about you, every door slammed in your face, every person who used your kindness like a stepping stone and walked away when you needed them most. You think they forgot. They didn't. Heaven doesn't forget. God says, "I kept a record of every tear they caused, every sleepless night, every moment they made you feel small." And now, my child, the scales are tipping, not because you begged for revenge, not because you cursed their names in the dark, but because justice is not optional in the kingdom of God. It is inevitable. Right now, as I speak, something is shifting in the spiritual realm. The people who betrayed you are beginning to feel the weight of what they did. They can't sleep. They can't find peace. They keep thinking of you, and they don't know why. That's not coincidence. That's conviction. God is holding up a mirror, and they are finally seeing the truth. You don't need to say a word. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to prove anything. Your silence was never weakness, my child. It was restraint. It was dignity. It was the sign of someone who knew God would handle it. And He is. Listen, heaven is closing chapters in your life right now, without asking your permission, without waiting for you to let go, because some seasons expired the moment they hurt you. God says, "I am removing anyone whose purpose in your life was only to wound you." Their time is up. The friendships that drained you, dissolving. The toxic family members who made you doubt your worth, being repositioned. The people who took and gave nothing back, watching you rise from a distance they can no longer cross. This is not cruelty, my child. This is mercy. Because God loves you too much to let you stay tied to people who were slowly killing your spirit. Now hear this. The same people who dismissed you will soon try to return. They will feel the shift. They will sense that something powerful is happening in your life. And they will reach out, not because they changed, because you did. But you are not the same person they left behind. God has upgraded you. He has given you discernment, boundaries, a spine made of something they can't bend anymore. And when they come back, you will feel it. That quiet strength, that holy no. You won't be cruel. You won't be bitter. You will simply be unavailable. Because God is teaching you something the world doesn't understand. Forgiveness does not mean reopening the door. It means you stopped waiting for them to apologize. You stopped needing them to see your worth. You released them to God, and you walked into the next chapter, free. Listen to me, my beloved child. What God is about to place inside you cannot be measured by the world's standards. This isn't a power that shouts. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need your permission to work. It simply moves. And when it moves, everything around you shifts. Doors you didn't knock on will open. People who ignored you will suddenly remember your name. Opportunities you stopped praying for will find you in the middle of an ordinary Tuesday. This is not luck. This is divine favor, responding to years of silent faithfulness. You've been in the wilderness long enough. God says, "I watched you hold on when everyone else let go. I watched you stay kind when the world gave you every reason to be bitter. I watched you keep praying even when heaven seemed silent. And now, my child, heaven is no longer silent. The power being released over your life right now has 3 frequencies. First, the frequency of peace. You will walk into chaos and feel calm, not because the storm stopped, but because something inside you became unmovable. Your mind will no longer race at 3 a.m. Your chest will no longer tighten when the phone rings. You will finally breathe. Second, the frequency of wisdom. Decisions that used to paralyze you will become clear. You'll know who to trust. You'll know when to speak and when to stay silent. You'll know which door to walk through, not because someone told you, but because your spirit will recognize the path God already cleared. Third, the frequency of provision. Money you weren't expecting will show up. A check, a refund, an opportunity, a door. God says, I am reopening streams I closed during your season of testing. What I withheld to protect you, I am now releasing to promote you. But hear me clearly, chosen one. This power doesn't make noise. It makes room. It doesn't fight for attention. It commands it. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere will shift, not because you're trying, but because you're carrying something the enemy can no longer touch. Your presence will disrupt darkness without saying a word. Your peace will convict those who tried to break you. Your rising will be so undeniable that even your doubters will have to admit God's hand is on them. But, my child, this power only responds to those who stay aligned. It will not flow through bitterness. It will not activate in unforgiveness. It will not move where pride has taken root. So before this new season fully opens, God is asking you one question. Are you ready to let go of what tried to destroy you? Not because they deserve your forgiveness, but because you deserve your freedom. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you next will change the way you see every betrayal, every delay, every closed door you've ever faced. My beloved child, listen closely now, because what I'm about to tell you will determine whether this power activates or stays dormant. Heaven is handing you the key, but you must know how to hold it. First, understand this. There are places God pulled you out of. Relationships, jobs, rooms where your name was spoken with venom. Do not go back. I don't care how lonely it gets. I don't care if they apologize. I don't care if they say they've changed. When God extracts you, it's not a suggestion. It's a rescue. And if you crawl back into what tried to destroy you, you tell heaven you don't trust the plan. Second, stop explaining yourself to people who were never meant to understand you. You've been doing that for years, defending your choices, justifying your pain, hoping someone would finally see you. My child, the chosen don't need permission from the confused. Your calling doesn't require a committee. When the doubters ask why you're changing, why you're quieter, why you're walking away, smile and say nothing. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. God is moving you in secret, so your enemies can't intercept the blessing. Third, say yes to the doors that feel too good to be true. I know you've been burned. I know you expect betrayal now. But when the opportunity comes, the one that makes your heart beat faster, the one that feels like it was designed just for you, don't hesitate. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. Heaven has been rerouting your entire life to position you in front of that moment. If you second guess it, you'll watch someone else walk through your door. Fourth, protect your energy like it's oxygen, because it is. You cannot carry this new power while dragging dead weight. Toxic people, draining conversations, situations that steal your peace. Cut them off. Fast. Not with anger, not with drama, just with distance. You don't owe everyone access to you. And finally, my child, remember this. Alignment is louder than effort. You've spent years grinding, forcing, pushing, trying to make things work. That season is over. Now, you rest in position. You trust the timing. You let the power do what your hands could not. When you align with heaven's frequency, the universe starts working for you instead of against you. Doors open without you knocking. People show up without you searching. Money flows without you begging. This is not luck. This is what happens when the chosen finally step into their authority. So here's what I need you to do right now. Take a breath. Close your eyes for 3 seconds and whisper this. I receive the power. I trust the process. I am aligned. Say it. Because the moment you do, Something shifts in the realm you cannot see. And my beloved, when that shift happens, there is no going back. My beloved child, we've arrived at the threshold. You didn't come this far by accident. Heaven has been watching you climb through every valley, every silent night, every moment when you whispered, "God, are you still there?" And today, God answers, not with silence, with thunder. Listen closely now, because what I'm about to tell you will determine whether this power activates in your life or fades back into the unseen. Archangel Michael is standing at your right shoulder. Jesus is standing at your left, and God the Father is leaning forward from his throne, waiting to see what you will do next. This is not the end of your story, chosen one. This is the release. The chains you've carried for years, the shame that whispered you weren't enough, the fear that you'd be forgotten, it's breaking off right now. But heaven requires one thing from you, a signal, a declaration, not because God needs proof, but because your spirit needs to hear your own voice say, "I receive this." So here's what I'm asking you to do, and I'm asking with the love of a father who has watched you suffer long enough. Go to the comments right now and type these exact words. "I am ready for my power." Don't hesitate. Don't second guess. This is your agreement with heaven, your signature on the covenant. Next, share this message with 3 people who are struggling right now. You know who they are. The friend who's been quiet too long, the family member who's lost hope, the stranger who needs to hear that God hasn't forgotten them. When you share this, you're not just passing along a video. You're releasing the anointing. You're becoming a carrier of the same power that's activating in you, and heaven multiplies what you give away. Finally, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, because there is one final confirmation coming, a sign that will appear in your life within the next 72 hours. It will be personal, it will be undeniable, and it will prove to you that everything you just heard was not motivation, not inspiration, but divine revelation. But you'll only recognize it if you stay connected, if you stay aligned, if you keep your spirit open to what God is doing right now. Chosen one, I need you to understand something. The world told you that you were broken, that your pain disqualified you, that your silence meant you didn't matter. But God says the opposite. He says you were forged in the fire because only the strong can carry this kind of power. He says your tears were not wasted. They were the rainfall that prepared the ground for this harvest. He says your name has been spoken in the courts of heaven more times than you can count. And today, the verdict came back. Approved, anointed, released. Now go, walk in it, live in it. And when the world asks you what changed, you tell them the truth. You tell them that God rewarded you with a power they've never seen before. Not because you were perfect, but because you survived. This is not your ending, my beloved child. This is your beginning, and heaven is watching.